What if I told you that when Jesus hung on the cross, the skies weren't the only thing reacting? Above the bloodstained hill of Calvary, beyond the cries of men, two of the mightiest archangels in existence were standing watch. Michael, the warrior of heaven, Uriel, the flame of God. And in the center, the sun suspended between earth and eternity. You've heard the story of the crucifixion before, but not like this. Because hidden in the shadows of Calvary, in realms most people never talk about, something happened that defies logic, challenges doctrine, and rips the veil off everything we thought we knew about that day. Why did the sky go black at noon? What was Jesus really doing in the spirit while his body hung dying? And what exactly did Michael and Uriel do when the King of Glory was pierced by a Roman spear? Stay with me. Once you see what these two archangels did at the cross, you'll never see Jesus or spiritual warfare the same way again. Welcome to Chronicara, the place where we uncover the hidden, the divine, and the things no one dares to talk about. From angelic warfare to prophetic secrets, if it's in the Bible and it's mysterious, you'll find it here. So buckle up, like and subscribe, let's go deeper. Chapter 1. The Veiled War over Calvary. Most people only picture the cross from the ground. A dusty hill, Roman soldiers, a jeering crowd, and a bleeding man between two criminals. But that's only the surface, what the flesh could see. What if you could pierce through the veil? What if you could see the spirit realm above Golgotha, a war older than time itself? At noon, the sky turned black, not cloudy, but black for 3 hours. This was no eclipse. This darkness wasn't physical, it was spiritual. The air above the cross was charged with divine tension. Angels silent, demons trembling, the sky not just dark, but under siege. And from his throne of shadows, Lucifer watched. He thought he had won. Ever since Eden, he'd schemed toward this moment. But hovering in the unseen were two figures, Michael, the archangel of war, Uriel, the archangel of divine light and hidden wisdom. They were not passive, they were positioned, guardians of the moment the universe had been waiting for. Chapter 2. The Invisible Command. Jesus had the power to summon 12 legions of angels. He could have stepped off the cross and turned Golgotha into a crater. But he didn't, and in the spiritual realm, that silence was deafening. Michael's grip tightened on his sword, galaxies of fire carved with the names of God. Uriel burned like the sun, eyes white-hot with revelation. They knew something we didn't. The scroll of redemption was opening. Jesus wasn't dying because he lost, he was dying because he was winning. And then came the cry, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. It tore through dimensions like thunder shattering silence. A signal, a summons, a command. Hold the line, guard what is mine. And heaven moved. Michael snapped into formation, not guarding a people this time, but a person. Guarding the transfer of every curse, every sin, every soul being placed onto Christ. Uriel released light, a ripple across time that would one day awaken Paul, inspire the gospel writers, and open the eyes of nations. As Jesus' blood hit the dust, Uriel moved. Michael stood, and the veil of the temple tore, not just fabric but the barrier between God and man collapsing. Chapter 3. The Descent into Sheol. Jesus breathed his last, the ground quaked, the rocks split. But while men saw a lifeless body hanging in the midday darkness, something far more terrifying and glorious was happening beneath their feet. The sinless Lamb was descending into Sheol, the realm of the dead. Not symbolically, not poetically, literally, spiritually, eternally. And he wasn't going alone. Michael followed, Uriel followed. Not to protect, but to witness what no angel had ever seen. The king walking into hell's gates uninvited and unchallenged. Ancient gates forged in rebellion began to groan. Jesus didn't knock, he spoke. Open! And legal chains broke. The keys of death and Hades were taken, not requested, not borrowed, taken. Michael stood as heaven's witness. This transfer is lawful. Uriel unsealed the mysteries hidden since the beginning of time, flooding the underworld with the truth of the cross. Abraham, Moses, David, Elijah, they saw it. The Lamb, the light, the fulfillment, and they rose in glory. This wasn't a descent, it was a jailbreak. When Jesus was nailed to the cross, he wasn't abandoned. He wasn't weak. He wasn't defeated. He was commanding angels in silence, issuing orders from agony, overthrowing hell with nothing but his blood and obedience. Michael stood, sword in hand, to guard the transfer of eternal power. Uriel burned with the mysteries of God to illuminate what had been hidden since the world began. And while men wept, Rome laughed, and demons shrieked in confusion, heaven stood to attention. Because when Jesus said, "It is finished," Michael raised his blade, Uriel sealed the scroll, and eternity shifted. This means you are never alone in your battle. Even in your lowest moment, when your body is weak and your prayers feel unanswered, heaven is still moving. There are angels on assignment, a plan unfolding, power in your silence. So now I ask you, what really happened at the cross? Why did the sky go dark? Why did the veil tear? And why were two of heaven's greatest angels silently standing over a bloody scene? Because it wasn't just death, it was divine strategy. A king laying down his life not just to die, but to take back everything we lost. Michael knew it, Uriel saw it. And now you've seen it too. If this opened your eyes, like, share and subscribe, because what's coming next you won't believe either.